Uh, for Doombeard, I've mostly been using a pretty heavy sound out of my guitar, and if I want a light sound I'll usually go with acoustic guitars, but this is the guitar I usually use. It's an Ibanez. Really nice to play. It's got a really nice feel on the fretboard for, you know, bending and playing some pretty fast notes. A couple tricks. I don't mess around with the volume or the tone. I just keep those on full. But for playing heavy riffs, some more intense, you know, playing some choppy chords or whatever. And if I wanted to get into some meticulous leads and smooth sounding guitar solos, I'll flick the switch all the way to the front and the back one, and that activates this pickup here, and I think it also has something to do with this one here, but I'm not sure. I'm not that much of a guitar tech. That's the sound I like. It's the warmest tone, and that's about that. So one reason why I really like the Ibanez guitars also is because they're really easy to play on the fretboard. It's a nice flat, smooth feeling, rather than some other guitars have a thicker neck back here, but this one has a nice thin neck. I got two different options now that I have my guitar set up through an effects processor and through the amp here. My first option is to cut out the amp altogether and go directly from the guitar to the effects processor and into Cubase. If I do that, I got a really clean signal. I cut out the need for condenser microphone and all that other stuff. However, I'm probably going to be scrimping on the warm tone that I can get from the amp. I don't even know how that's going to sound on the camera mic, but basically the wonderful idea about having an amp like this is I have some knobs here like watts, depth, tone, ultra, whatever that means, but basically back in the old days, before distortion, you can have all these different things on here. This kind of simulates the sound of an older amp. And even on my clean channel, there's a little bit of grungy tone on there, and that would make the distortion from the effects processor even more grungier. All of your settings that you have, once you get a good sound out of your guitar, even through your effects processor, like the type of distortion you're using, if you're simulating the sound of a cabinet, your tone, your treble, volume, and things like that. Make note of all of those things so that if you have to go back in the future to set that sound up again, you're going to get exactly the same sound. Here's what's going to happen if you don't. You're going to record 6 different songs in one day, and say you're really lucky and you managed to pull that off. That's going to be great on your album because all of your instruments are going to sound exactly the same in each song. It's going to sound a lot more professional, like a studio recording. What's going to happen if you decide that you put in some reverb and chorus on your effects processor, you bring that into Cubase, 2 months later you decide, shit, I don't want chorus and reverb on this guitar because I wanted to put that in using the effects in Cubase. Now I have to re-record that track. So you re-record it. You got different settings on your guitar now, so one of your songs sounds a little bit different than the other ones. You don't want that, right? So really good point is to make note of what your settings are.